I want to say good morning and thank you to our Northampton Community Television audience. This is Rick Haggerty, kicking it for peace, culture, and education, airing each Sunday morning on Valley Free Radio, 103.3 FM Northampton, and online at valleyfreeradio.org. And I want to say welcome back, Valley Free Radio listeners, and welcome to our guest, Bruce Watson. Bruce has a stellar online magazine called The Attic, and that's at theattic.space. And this morning, Bruce, thank you for calling. I understand you're going to talk about a Langston Hughes article. You want to introduce it for us?
Yes, so this is actually one I wrote. Langston Hughes wrote the poem that everybody knows, I hope, Let America Be America Again, quite a while ago, and it's recently become famous. And shortly after the inauguration of you-know-who, when although I try to avoid politics in the attic, I couldn't so much. I think this is a sentiment that almost everybody can feel. And so I researched the poem and discovered that it had quite interesting origins. So this is Let America Be America Again, and the story behind it, if I might.
Thank you.
Belching, I'll just go right ahead if you want.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bruce. Yeah.
Okay. Belching black smoke and blowing its whistle, the Empire State Express pulled out of Grand Central Station on an October evening in 1935, Cleveland bound. On board for the all-night ride were dozens of businessmen, a handful of salesmen, and one poet. The train rattled across an America in despair, 1935, remember. 3 years into the New Deal, unemployment was 28%. As the sun set, passengers peered out at hobo jungles, houses lit by gas lamps, cities broken and battered. Any mention of the American dream seemed a mockery, but somewhere in the grim landscape, Langston Hughes began writing. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plain, seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Like the nation he described, Hughes wondered when he would touch bottom. The success he enjoyed in his 20s as a leading light in the Harlem Renaissance had flickered. Selling a poem or a story every few months, he had become what he called a literary sharecropper. Fate, he said, never intended for me to have a full pocket of anything but manuscripts. That spring his father died in Mexico, drawing him there with hope of an inheritance. But he loathed his father, who had left the family, and the feeling was mutual. He got nothing. Let America be the dreamers dreamed. Let it be that great, strong land of love, where never kings connive nor tyrants scream, that any man can be crushed by one above. Back from Mexico, Hughes had gone to Los Angeles. Holed up in a $1-a-night motel, he wrote a children's book, rejected, then failed to get a screenwriting job in Hollywood. By late August, he was headed home to his mother's in Oberlin, Ohio. But he and his mother quarreled, and he soon left for Manhattan on word that his play, Mulatto, was headed for Broadway. The play, gutted by the director, got terrible opening night reviews. The next evening, Hughes boarded the train for Cleveland, burdened now by the word that his mother had breast cancer. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath. But opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Like many writers during the Depression, Hughes was curious about communism. His flirtation with the Communist Party, which he never joined, got him banned from speaking engagements and labeled, quote, officially a communist. But there on the train, he gave his dreams another chance. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark? And who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery's scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek. And finally, only the same stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. From Manhattan to Buffalo and beyond, Hughes wrote for much of that evening. Through the eyes of the downtrodden, he described America not as a nation, but as an idea. Yet I'm the one who dreamt our basic dream in the old world while still a serf of kings, who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet it mighty daring sings. In every brick and stone, in every furrow turned, that's made America the land it has become. When he was done, Hughes rode on into the night. As the sun rose over Cleveland, he changed trains and headed home to help his mother. He had no special fondness for his latest poem. The following summer, when Esquire accepted it, he was outraged that the magazine bought just 50 lines. Still, he needed the money. He has never discussed the poem again, seeing it as a relic of his radical years. But the dream described on the train riding through the Depression has crept into our consciousness. The poem rose from obscurity in 1992 when Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall read it at an American Bar Association meeting. It's soon entitled a show at the Museo del Barrio in Manhattan. In 2004, Let America Be America Again became candidate John Kerry's theme. That earned it the title of a new collection of Hughes's poetry. In 2009, Let America became part of a hip-hop review. It is now recited in poetry slams and taught in colleges and high school. YouTube videos recited against the backdrop of patriotic imagery, and by the way, I suggest it's a wonderful reading by the actress Abina Kumson, performing in the streets of Manhattan that I have on the site, and I suggest you watch it. And the poem rolls onward, cherished by all who see America as an idea and a work in progress. And yet I swear this oath, America will be free. Out of the rock and ruin of our gangster death, the rape and rot of graft and stealth and lies, we the people must redeem the land, the mines, the plants, the rivers, the mountains, and the endless plain, and all the stretch of these great green states, and make America again.
All right. What a great poem and great article.
Well, thanks. I just keep discovering these wonderful stories behind things that we think we all know, and that's what the attic is about. To sort of let America be America again, a kinder, cooler America, I call it.
Yeah, that's incredible. And, just to hear it in the context of the New Deal, 3 years into that, unemployment being at 20%, just really kind of gripping, that kind of Harlem Renaissance and things kind of just going down the tubes really, really fast, at that time.
We think times are hard now.
Yeah.
Different kind of thing.
That's right. Gives us a real context for what we're going through, and that his father had died, and just even though there was discord there, just the whole story. So how did you tell us again? Because as folks might know, you were my guest a couple of weeks back, and we talked about the Attic.space, your really wonderful online magazine. And maybe you could just share with us a little bit how you picked this poem and what really moved you to write about it.
Well, I've always loved it, and honestly, like most folks, I hadn't heard it until it became John Kerry's people pulled it out, and Thurgood Marshall and others. So I'd not heard. I've always been a huge fan of Langston Hughes. This one had not come across my attention, but once that phrase gets in your head, you really can't forget it, no matter, even in good times. The country has this dream, and it's always up there, and we're always a little short of it, sometimes far more short than others, but it's always the dream, and that phrase just stays with you forever. There's a picture in here of someone standing outside a protest rally with just that phrase, let America be America again. It seems to say it all. It's because we think we know what all men and women are created equal is supposed to be. We think we know that has always been the idea, and how far short we've fallen, but nobody ever said it better than me, I don't think. Yeah,
it's so true. Interesting that it became John Kerry's theme as well, in 2004.
If you remember the 2004 election, try for a moment to suspend the results from your mind, and just remember the despair of 2004, which I think is equal to today, really. We had gone to war in Iraq. It was a disaster. 9/11 was quite recent memory. We did not like our president, most of us, and we're fairly certain that almost anybody would win. And so that was good phrase to come up with, to let America be America again. And I don't think it's lost any of its resonance.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting too that that it would be morphed into or almost taken from that to be let America be great again, or this kind of with this horrific kind of
good concept.
Dictatorial. We've gone from the Depression and just looking to regenerate decency and and having our national leaders look out for the interest of the people to, being now looking out for the interest of themselves and no one else. It's really gone in such a terrible direction. But this reminds us, how we can pull together and just defeat these forces working against us. It's such a great model, such a great poem from the 30s. So,
and it keeps hope alive, because I know the cynic in me and probably many would say, well, this is America, this America that dashes hopes and is dog eat dog and that type of thing that he does describe. But he says the crushing competition and all of that, driving lights apart, keeping the ego down, all of that. You could say, well, that is America, but he's saying no. It is, the dream is that it's beyond that, we can transcend that, and that dream hangs in and comes through strongly. I think it came through to a certain extent last week, and will continue. I believe it will.
Yeah, and thank you. And folks just tuned in, we're speaking with Bruce Watson, and he's written about the Langston Hughes poem, Letting America Be America Again. And Bruce has got a wonderful online magazine called The Attic, and that's at theattic.space. So I encourage you to go there and become a member. It doesn't cost anything, but there are just wonderful stories there, and I look forward to having you on again next week. Any ideas for what you might be presenting next week, Bruce? Or
well, this is November is Food Month in the Attic, and I've been doing stories. It was about an old cookbook. Next week, I'm going to write about Steve Harrell from Northampton, the man who changed ice cream. And we all know Steve, but a lot of folks don't know how in the 1970s he really created gourmet ice cream out in Somerville. And Steve doesn't know this yet. So if you're listening, Steve, I'm going to call you and interview you. But at any rate, that's probably not what I'll read, though. I'm trying to catch up, and I have a really nice one that I did a little while ago about Jasper Johns and his flags. And I think I'm going to read that one.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And we'll look forward to hearing from Steve. Judith, his partner, has been a guest here on my show. And, I lived up in Boston and used to get in line for Steve's ice cream.
So did I.
To get in those mix-ins, now I guess they're called smash-ins. But, boy, that was all the rage up there in Boston. I remember standing outside around the corner from the Elliott Lounge on Mass Ave. That was my local Steve's, right across the street. Wasn't my place. I was living at my brother's, but that was those are the days. So thank you so much, Bruce. Again, Bruce Watson with his online magazine, The Attic, and he is at the attic.space. And I appreciate you being a part of my show. We sure enjoy it here, and yes, we're happy about gaining control of the House and having some power in Washington for a change. So maybe we can hold some people accountable for their awful deeds there, and we do have hope, right? So thank you. Thank you again, and thank you for contributing to our fundraiser. And Bruce, have a great week. And thanks for calling in.
Talk to you next week.
All right. Thank you so much. And we're going to say thank you to our Northampton Community Television for being a part of Valley Free Radio. And this is Rick Haggerty kicking it for Peace, Culture, and Education, airing each Sunday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. And replaying Tuesday nights, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. at 103.3 FM Northampton. Streaming online at valleyfreeradio.org. And Bruce Watson is a regular contributor to my show. So be sure to tune in for future articles, as you heard Bruce mention. And he's at the Attic, and that is the attic.space.